Hola from the west side. It is me, DC the Purple Diva, and welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Thursday, y'all. And what a Thursday it's been. Hey, Love and Learn Joy, my autism mom sis. Thank you for coming through. You always show love. You always show love. I appreciate it. I absolutely appreciate it. I'm trying to share out, but I don't know if it's going to work. Because when you're okay, now it's working. Yeah, I'm going to try to share out because I know I put out the notification ahead of time, but as you guys know, sometimes even when you put the notifications out ahead of time, they don't always get out to everybody. So I'm going to create a post letting everybody know that we're in the place to be. So come through for Thursday chat. All right. So I have liked and shared my own daggone video and put something out there. And I watched the end of the RNC tonight, y'all. Yeah, I did. I watched it. And it was kind of crazy because when you think about the, hey, I am verbal. When you think about the last 4 days, almost everyone, well, I'll say 50% of the speakers were related in some shape or form to the current president. And, he basically had his cheerleading section up there for him. Um, the women that he had up there, hey, Miss Uppity Unicorn, thank you for coming. The women that he had up there were your typical white suburban women. That's his demographics because, those of us who live in the city, doesn't matter what color you are, he's not looking for us. Hey, Africa, how are you? So, in the middle of Mr. Trump's speech tonight, he says all this stuff about he's for the black people, for the brown people and all of this stuff. But then at the end of the speech, he says that he's not for the people who are out there protesting because to him, they're rioters and looters and thugs. So if you're not for the people who are exercising their First Amendment right to freedom of speech in opposition to treatment by the police department, then are you really for black people? Because you seem to be completely out of touch with what the actual issue is with the police department. And you are trying to put a spirit of fear into these people. Hey, T. Darrell. So y'all, I'm trying to be objective, but I'm also listening to what I'm hearing from this man. So I'm trying to give my commentary, but I'm listening to him just give us a bunch of his term fake news. He His narcissism was so prevalent doing the speech tonight, you guys, that I was surprised that his head could fit on the stage. I mean, he is really butthurt because he did not win the popular vote in the last election. And so he is trying to tell people that, you know, Joe Biden is the worst thing, that he's going to bring in socialism, a lie, that he's going to go in completely defund the police department, another lie, that he is going to come in here and shut the country back down, which is another lie. I mean, can we get up and give a, a speech like we're actually the president versus we're someone who's vying for the presidency? But then again, I guess he made his statement by doing this at the White House tonight. Did he not? He made the statement. That was his silent statement to us, telling us that he has no intention of going anywhere. So for those of you who have already made the decision that you're not going to vote, I would pray that you change that decision, because it's not just the president that is up for re-election. There are people in other offices. There's some people in Congress. There's some people in Senate that are, yeah. So you got to look at all of that stuff. And think about who's in office at every level. Where can you make an impact? I know, Verbal. I know. But my issue is that some people simply are just not going to vote at all. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. We'll be back in 2016 with 60% of Americans voting and only 40%, other 40%, not. I, you know, I'm not trying to persuade you to vote for either party. I'm trying to persuade people to vote. It's just stupid to me for people to give up that right freely. Freely. Because they don't like the candidates. One of the things that 45 did say that I will agree with is this is a very important election. And it is, because of all the things that our country is going through. He's still making all of these promises that he's going to have vaccines and everything available for this in lightning speed. But my concern is, will they be safe? Will they be safe? And if you could have had these lightning speed, vaccines, why were you in such a hurry to open up the country? Well, I guess because our unemployment rate was like the Great Depression. And you knew that was going to affect you. But what's really affecting 45 is the handling of this pandemic. And I still don't hear anything from him explaining that. He blames everyone but himself. And what kind of leader takes no ownership of anything that they do wrong, who clearly, who thinks that everything they do is the right thing, that they are perfect? Oh, I'm stupid, a narcissist. That's okay. That's okay, Africa Black Chaos. I appreciate every view. I really do. I know I come on late at night. I'm just looking to see what you guys are saying. Make sure I'm not missing anything. But it's the crazy thing to me about these 4 days of, you know, speakers is that some people are going to believe all of the malarkey. That's a nice way of, saying what I want to say. They're going to believe it all, which is insane. I mean, please fact check everything that either one of these gentlemen say. Fact check everything. You know, ask the questions. That's what people, should have been doing. And I'm so tired of you know the thing Mr. Trump is using, that Mr. Biden is a career politician. Okay, he has been a public servant for a long time. I'll give him, I give that. But the thing is that in the 3.5 years that you've been in there, when it came to the crunch, meaning this pandemic, you choked. You choked in the most essential way, which was protecting the American people. You did not protect the American people. And that's what you, as the president, are supposed to do. So that's what my frustration is with this person. And the fact that he refuses to accept all of the things that are going on, the racial tension that's going on in this country, and takes no ownership for his part in that. He'd rather blame everything on everyone else. You know, I don't think that the Democratic Party has been promoting racial tension. As a matter of fact, in Mr. Biden's speech, he did at least talk about unity. That's what I would like to hear from this person. But I know that's not what we're going to hear. He's just going to tear down the opposition, you know, and push fear out there. You know, he's clearly behind law enforcement, which means you're clearly behind their abuse and brutality. You're clearly behind that. You're okay with that. You're America great again, in my humble opinion, it's make it white. But I'm sorry, this country's not a white country anymore. And when he talked about the people building this land and them sailing across the ocean to come here to make a future, in that argument, it should have also included the fact that millions of Black Africans were raped from their continent and brought across the ocean against their will to be part of building this country, and that many of them died along the way. I, I do not understand how he can stand up there with a straight face and say the things that he says. He's a practiced liar, and he has convinced himself that everything that he's saying is the truth. Oh, I know that they do a lot of race hustling, verbal. That's why DC is nonpartisan. You know, and I personally would love to have more choices. I would love to have more choices. I would love to have younger choices. You know, good, bad, or indifferent. At least 44 was under the age of 50 when he entered office. I mean, we've only had a few presidents that were under the age of 50. I'm tired of all these old farts because all of them are out of touch, and we're going to need we're going to need some much younger blood at the highest levels to make any changes in this freaking country. I know. They both want our numbers. They both want our numbers. And here's the irony of it. Many Black Americans do not even know this, but I've spoken about this before. But of at the beginning of the 20th century, in the early 20th century, Black people, for the most part, were Republican. There was a shift during the 20th century. There was a shift during the 20th century. And the shift was because of things that happened within the Republican Party. So by the time most of our parents who, were part of what they consider quote unquote the baby boomers, Black Americans had shifted to primarily being Democrat. Now there's a large percentage of us who are nonpartisan because we're disgusted with both parties. Hey, Jack. In a Walmart parking lot. Jack, you're crazy. You've never found anybody worth voting for Africa Black Chaos? Well, I always vote. And I share with you guys one of the reasons, the main thing. My sister, myself, and my brother all vote. You know, our parents were part of the civil rights movement. My father was a civil rights leader in college. He's the one who orchestrated the quote unquote Atlanta sit-ins. So I feel an obligation to vote. I feel an obligation to do that. You know, and sometimes it's hard. You know, but I'm not gonna just sit on the sidelines and let history happen again. So I've got to vote because I believe the reason that we have who we have in office is because 40% of the nation didn't vote. Now, I would Hillary have made a better president? Who knows? But I don't think she could have done any worse. I don't think she could have done worse. Yeah, he's given everything. Who gave everything to LGBT? Oh, this person. Well, Hillary was evil, heartless, warmonger. Oh, you're talking about Obama. Yeah, well, hmm, we've had that conversation, y'all. You know, how people thought that because the 44 was a black person, well, he was a mixed race person who considered himself black, that he would be for us. And I think that maybe there might have been some things that he could have, that he wanted to do, that he was unable to do because there was no unification as far as, the House and the Senate. But under under the current regime, I'm just concerned about a lot of dictatorish um, things that are coming out of this person. Which one? Oh, here. He could have at least. Well, I mean, the executive decisions. He did some executive. I know a lot of people thought he was going to do the reparation thing. I didn't already told y'all that. We ain't never going to get that from the top. Even if we got another black president, I don't think that would happen, no matter who they are. I'm just saying. You know, they've given everyone reparations in this country but us. I mean, you know, one thing that maybe Obama could have done, since he's, he was a constitutional um, lawyer, is maybe gone in there and made us whole people. Because we are not a whole person if we're black in this country. They've never amended that. So that would be a nice thing. You know, that would be a nice thing. How about somebody do that one? I tell you, people, read the Declaration of Independence and read the Constitution. Read what's really in there and see what's in that Emancipation Proclamation for yourself. It's going to be an interesting couple of months because no matter, well, no, I take that back. Based on what was said tonight, if 45 wins, he's going to give us the same thing that he's given us. That's what he told us. So, in my opinion, it's really about, are you happy with the way the country is right now? Or do you want something different? And if you want something different, do you know, do you think that you might get anything different out of the other side? Or will it be the same thing that we have with this one? Who knows? But I, I, I still feel that I'm going to vote, and it's kind of scary that I'm still sitting here saying, "Dang, what am I going to do? This is awful." It's a shame that I'm saying that. You know, for the last two elections, I've been saying that. I never felt that way before we got to this point. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. I know the younger people. A lot of younger people don't vote. My son does vote. My nephew does. I know a large portion of them that may vote in this election, though. A lot of people, I think a lot of the younger people want to vote because they're tired of the same thing. And they're definitely disenfranchised with the current leadership. So it's like taking a coin and tossing it up in the air, heads or tails. That's what it feels like. And y'all, it shouldn't even feel like that. Meanwhile, in reality, in the real world, what's going on, in what we're seeing in this country, is we're seeing black black men being shot in the street. Okay, that's what's going on, and all of the major sports all went on strike. I believe that basketball's coming back in a next week or something, but they all took off a couple of days. And then you have some people who are pissed off at the athletes for taking a political stand because they don't get to see a game. It's crazy to me that all they want them to do is play a game, just play the game. Don't have no thought about the country that you live in and what's going on in this country. You want to see all these black men up there playing, but then you don't want to understand how they feel about the fact of seeing their black brothers being slaughtered in the streets. I mean, what do they expect? Because when these players walk off the court, I think Doc Rivers said it best. They are black men, and they have to worry about if they gonna get stopped just like any other black man. So, you know, being rich and being an athlete does not change that. No, they don't really love the athletes. They just like to see them get out there and entertain them. They just want to be entertained. That's basically what it is. They want the athletes, they look at the athletes as entertainers out there to entertain them. So, you know, I heard some dude on the here in LA on the news talking about he's never gonna go to a basketball game again because of the basketball players taking boycotting. Bye. You know, they not gonna lose no sleep over your one ticket. it's crazy for us here. It is crazy. You know, I think, for me, I don't have to deal with a lot of the overt stuff on a daily basis in a workspace anymore because I work from home. But I remember, you know, because of, what I do, being many times, maybe it'd be one or two of us black in the room, and it usually was me and one other female. You didn't see a whole lot of black men, so I would have to deal with all of the office politics and everything, because even though I went to college, well, so and so, she only went to high school, but she uses her boobs and she sleeps her way up to vice president, and I'm not. So, yeah, I saw a lot of that stuff going on. And so was not a woman of color, clearly, because we don't do that. You know, so it's not a cool place. I mean, even now when I do things, me, I would say when I went for the last time I went up for a promotion, it was we were noticing it was me and this other girl. She's Puerto Rican and I'm Afro Cuban. We both saying, are you noticing that everybody that's getting this position is white and we not getting this position? And then finally we came up and we got it. But and we're in a virtual environment, so nobody sees your face, but still nonetheless, you know, you still deal with that certain types of things that go on. Yeah, now the Benghazi thing, I don't believe that was her fault. I do believe that some some probably not so smart decisions were made in regards to that. But I I'm not gonna hold her responsible for that. But you know, when we look at who we have in administration and who we could possibly have in administration, it's really sad that we sit here and we think about it's like, damn, it doesn't matter which one we pick. It's probably gonna just be a bunch of BS. It's not gonna be much better, you know. And yeah, I'm all about making my own way. I'm not one of these ones. Oh, it's the man. The man is holding me down. You know, but there have to be the opportunities. You know, and I'm thinking about what about the next generation? Because you know, decisions that are made by current administration and the next administration are going to impact our children and our children's children. And that's the way that I think about the stuff. You know, it's it's tough. Hey Nina. Hey Ray. Hey Blind Needle. How are you ladies? Thanks for coming through. I seen Blind Needle on Instagram. I haven't seen her around on here, but I see you on Instagram. Yeah, you guys, y'all know I am almost at 3K in watch hours, y'all. So that means I have a little over 1,000 more hours, watch hours. I'm almost there, y'all. I'm almost there. I'm working on it. And tomorrow I will have a short video coming out tomorrow on melatonin being used with kids with autism. That will be out tomorrow. And then I have another video that'll be coming out over the weekend. That's the 40 question challenge. I know I'm late, but hey, it's coming anyway. And then I have a third one that I may do over the weekend. So I've got like 3 that are coming through. I'm editing the 40 question challenge one now. The other one I have to film. But this is crazy. You're putting the videos together. People don't even understand how much time it takes you to put something together, even if you just want a 5-minute video. I remember before I was doing content that I would listen to content creators, some of the bigger content creators, and how they were talking about apologizing why it was taking them so long, talking about the editing and everything. Now I totally get it. I totally understand, because putting this video together, I'm like, God, I can get this down to 5 minutes. It took a while because I had to, just put everything together. And I still have one more step to do. I still have to go back in and do the voiceover audio for the video. But it does take work to do these things. I know. I can't wait. It'll be nice because I'm working on things. I am going to be very shortly putting together a website for the artsy autism mom, and I'll have things like on there. I'll put the book that I'm actually going to be writing. I'll have that up there on there. Well, the book is almost finished, and I'm trying to have it published by one of my sorority sisters, who actually has a publishing company with an AKA. So most of you guys know I am a Delta, and my soror is one of the co-owners of this publishing company called Brown Girls Publishing, and it is 2 sisters. One is an AKA and one is a Delta, and they're both best-selling authors, and they formed this book publishing company so that they could help other authors get their stuff out. And I've known one of them. I've known Victoria Christopher Murray. I have known her for like 20 years, and she told me as soon as I finish the book, just get it to her. So it's almost done. It's coming out. And I'll put that out there. I'm working on my t-shirts and all the stuff for my Teespring store. I'm just trying to get everything together so that this channel and all of this YouTube stuff will be a business, because even if you are doing this and you are not monetized, if you are taking the time to edit videos, put videos out there, if you setting up, merchandise and stuff for your channel and all of those kind of things, you setting up websites, all that stuff, you're treating it as a business. You can say it's a hobby, but a hobby is not something that you put that much. You may put a lot of effort into a hobby, but this is the kind of thing that you need to look at as a business, even if you're doing it for fun. It could be fun and a business at the same time. I appreciate you coming through, Blind Needle. Yeah, I know. I swear I put the I try to put it out on my community tab. I try to, you know, put it up and notify people at least 30 minutes before I'm going to come on. But YouTube doesn't always put that information out. So, but I'm grinding, getting it all done because, I'm trying not to lose hours, y'all. And right now, I'm in the like, this is the month that I really started putting stuff out. So I'm probably not losing hours yet, but I want to get the rest of those hours so we don't have to find out what it's like to lose hours. Just don't want to go through it. I just don't. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. DM me about it on Instagram, Blind Needle. You know, I'm trying to figure stuff out. But there is a YouTuber on here that I'm friends with too that I'm also going to be getting with, Darren Marion. That's what he does for a living. He builds web pages and websites and stuff. He's a techie guy. So I'm gonna, also lean on his expertise and advice in doing this. But I would like to try to do it myself with somebody's help, of course. Because I did study computers and stuff too. I'm not as good as those guys, but I can figure stuff out. I can figure it out. I'm taking a few classes right now, but I'm like one day a week doing them right now because I just don't have enough time. Hey, misunderstood. Thank you for passing through. You are always welcome, misunderstood. But yeah, no, I'm just watching a lot of, channels that are getting their hours in. I'm just happy for everyone getting their hours in, because there's so many good channels that are little like me, and that's okay, you know, because you got to start somewhere, you know. But my hope is upon getting the channel, monetized, that it will help me towards my efforts, as far as doing the things that I want to do in regards to autism, because that's the whole point of the channel. So that's what I hope it will help with, and I have made some good connections in the autism community. And when we come out of this this pandemic, I'll be, some of them I'll be able to, do real time collabs with. But it's kind of crazy right now. A lot of people are using Zoom to do things. I haven't used Zoom on YouTube. I use it outside of YouTube for stuff like, you know, in my theater stuff, movie stuff. Oh, thank you, misunderstood. I appreciate it, chica. Gracias. Hey, Richard. Oh, there's no picture. Oh, there's no purpose to this. Richard, are you a troll? Richard, are you a troll? Richard. I don't even know you, Richard. Anyway, so let me just. I'm gonna time you out. I timed you out. He's been timed out. He has been timed out. I'm like, y'all. I told y'all. I told y'all. It doesn't matter what kind of channel you got. Trolls will come through. Does not matter. I told y'all. They go on everybody's channels because they have nothing else to do. But thank you for the watch time. I appreciate it. It's like whatever. You know, he can watch from the clouds for a couple of minutes. That's that's fine. And if he wants to go, he can go. I don't really care. But we don't do that stuff. Oh, he gave me a thumbs down. He gave me a thumbs down. Thank you for the thumbs down. I'll take that too. That's okay. I don't care. My live streams are for fun. They're not they are not for anything else. This is for entertainment purposes. All right, I'll go check it. Thank you so much, Marilyn. I appreciate it. Okay, great. Thank you so much for that, Blind Needle. I will definitely check it out. I'll check out my Instagram when I get off. You know, guys, we haven't been trolled in a while, so you know, I guess they thought, oh, she's on. Let's go over there and f with her. It doesn't even matter. I do a little trolling of my own sometimes. I was trolling somebody's chat last night, but I wasn't really saying anything. Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. Thank you for the thumbs down. I don't even care. You can like or dislike my live stream. You are not hurting my feelings because you're entitled to your opinion. You know, maybe you would like it if I got up in here, and did some stupid stuff. You know, that would probably be not so lame to you. Then maybe it would be entertainment. But I'm sorry, I ain't got time for all that. That's not how I spend my time. I'm okay with being lame. You know, I'm also quote unquote. I've also hit the wall. So who cares? I'm an old biddy. So who cares? you know, and thank God it's almost the weekend. hopefully out here in the West, we've been getting humidity out here, but it's supposed to go away at least this weekend, thankfully. And hopefully the tropical storms that are hitting the southern part of the country, I pray for everyone who's in the southern part of the country. My dad's in the south too. Just praying, it is that time of the year. And the crazy part about it is that because of all of the other conditions that are going on around us, it makes it more difficult. You know, Out here we have fires. Back east, they're dealing with the hurricanes, you know. You send me some of the VA rain? Yeah, I'm telling you. See, that's the thing about people in Cali do not understand. California folks understand when they get this humidity, you know, they're not getting the same kind of humidity that we got um, on the East Coast. But it felt like it these last few days. It was really, really muggy. It was really muggy. But we wouldn't get no rain. It wouldn't rain. It's just, you know, the humidity just hung in the air. I don't know where the rain went. It never came here. So that's not the kind of humidity that I can deal with. I can deal with the humidity where, it's humid, a thunder shower happens, even if it's for 5 minutes, it might be dry. 15 minutes later, like it never even rained, but there's some type of break because when that rain comes, that it gives you a little cool for, even if it's just for a few minutes. We don't get no breeze with this heat. Thank you so much, Miss Blindita. I appreciate it. Yeah, this. Well, he was lost, y'all. He was lost. He came over in here, and I'm sorry. I only do intelligent conversations. We have fun over here. I just talk about stuff, and I have figured out how to let people come up even when I'm on my phone now. So I will start. I will be having panels sometimes, but when I have the panels, obviously I'm gonna have to make it either a weekend or earlier when I do those. I know. See, that's what I'm saying. I grew up with that Africa Black Chaos. That's how it was. 'Cause I grew up in the DMV. I grew up in Northeast DC, and then my parents moved to Oxon Hill, Maryland. So I went from DC to PG County. And at the time that my parents moved to PG County, it was the 70s. And yeah, that was when the black folk were migrating out of DC into the vanilla suburbs, buying up houses. So it was different than it is now, the demographics. Because, like, I would say by the time I got out of high school, the area that I lived in that had not been that black was really black in the suburbs. It, like, within in less than 10 years. In less than 10 years, it did that. I mean, I will say in the quote unquote chocolate city, in the 70s, black people were moving outside of the chocolate city in droves because it was easier for them to buy property in Maryland and Virginia because the taxes were less in those two states than they were in DC. Thank you so much, Blind Needle. Yeah, I I need to really start sharing myself out more than I am. I used to do everything. I got to get back to that. I got to get back to that. Now I do share out every time. Every time I put up a premiere video, I'm going to share that out. But I don't share out my live streams except on YouTube. I need to start sharing them out on my Facebook and on my Instagram and on my Twitter. I need to I need to probably go live on Periscope. A few people I know have gone live on Periscope. And for those who don't know, Periscope is like the live stream sister for Twitter. You know, so but I need to do like maybe a dual stream between the two. I know I'm old. I don't care. You know, I like the fact that you know I was. I remember when the internet came to be. You know, I remember when 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 there were no cell phones. I remember having a pager, and I was not a drug dealer or a doctor. But it was at that time where you didn't want people to know your phone number, so you give them a pager number, and they would page you. I don't know what we were doing. Yeah, we were on some other stuff back then. We were on some other stuff. That was like yeah, that was the 80s and 90s. We were on some other stuff. Uh, I do use my now. See, the cell phone thing I have. That's the funny thing is that I am a I'm an iPhone person, but that's mainly because of my son and that the Apple stuff works better with people with autism. But the funny thing about that is that my dad, who is in his 80s, always has to have whatever the latest model is. If I have it, he got to have it too. I can't have it if he don't have it. You know, but the 90s is when I became a parent and my whole world changed. And so, I am the parent of a millennial. And that's they're the ones who are going to be taking over things. And it really is sad that that some of them are so disenfranchised by everything going on that they are seriously considering not voting. And this is why I'm always telling people to vote. You know, I have to believe that it's some level me voting matters. You know, I have to believe that. Let me see, where are we, guys? So we're at an hour. Y'all know that that's my that's what I usually do. And tomorrow I'm starting work at like 5 or 5:30 West Coast time, which is 8:30 East Coast time. But I've got an early day tomorrow, so I am not going to be on here forever. But I'm gonna come on so y'all can see me. Let me see. Yeah, I'm a cam up because DC is not afraid to cam up. Hey guys. Oh, here comes David. Here comes David. Come on, King David. Have a seat. Sit down next to Mom. Look who came on camera with me. This is my son. For those who do not know, he is an adult. Say hi. All right, he's waving at y'all. He wants to. All right. And I'll explain that again. His rubbing heads with me, that's his kiss. That's how he kisses. That's our thing, That's our thing. But anyway, you guys, thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow. I hopefully won't be talking politics because y'all know I am politically aware, but I don't always want to be talking about it. So hopefully tomorrow that won't be my topic of conversation, and we can just sit here and chill and I don't know, have a good night. But I'll be back on tomorrow. Until then, I'm gonna offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. I got my braids back on the back of my head because it's still hot. I'll be back on. I may try to come on during the day. I'm not sure. It depends on how my day goes. But otherwise, y'all see me in the evening. All right? Until then, peace.